Hello class, this is Dr. Santiago going over our online meeting for week 5 or 6. Um, all right, many of you have seen my polls for online, and all of you answered that did not see the need for online meetings, so I'm just gonna post this video for your convenience. All right, so please, these two questions, can you please send me an email? You'll know my email address, edward.santiago at csuglobal.edu. Just answer these two questions if you have any questions regarding the course or what you need to do. What I need to know is, do you have any difficulties with the course? How's it working? Some of you have pointed out there's links that were not working, or videos that are not working, so that we took care of that as well. So if you need anything, you know the drill. Text me, call me, uh, or send me an email. I recommend always to text me so you catch my attention like immediately. If I don't have an answer for you immediately, I'll let you know. But it's the quickest way you can get to me. Many of you have commented privately on the grading. Um, there's a reason why I grade the way I do. Most of you probably will end up teaching online or teaching for another institution, and so I see each one of you as a potential faculty member, a potential colleague, and down the line. Because once you have a graduate degree, a master's degree, you're entitled and you're to teach online, or teach in any college. It could be online or it could be face to face. Some of you have that dream of becoming faculty. Uh, I recommend it, but it's not well paid, but it's a good job. Uh, but if you have any questions on regarding how to become a faculty member, or a professor, college professor, you can take care of that on the side. Just shoot me an email or schedule a Skype meeting with me, and I'll be more than happy to give you a brief introduction on what is expected of faculty members. So remember that once you have your master's, you could teach. So that's a good side job. Bye. All right. So generally on the course, everything is going on my side. What I can perceive from the group, most of the things are going well. A lot of participation during the weekly discussion forums, and that's good. The percentage of similarity and Turnitin, that's something that we need to improve. Always submit your work through Turnitin, and remember, it always has to be a Word document, no PDFs. Also, I've been seeing, these are the general comments. I've been seeing a lot of errors with APA and the CSU, or using the CSU global writing guide. Okay. Um, I have included several videos on this topic, um, and I also gave this document. Now, this, when it says sample paper, nothing goes there. You have to erase this. This does not go there. This is just letting you know that this is a sample paper, or is a template. Um, Good rule of thumb here is that if it doesn't look like this document, don't turn it in, because you're gonna start losing points on simple stuff, even though that you might have the content great. But if it doesn't look like this document, you're gonna lose points on your work. All right. Most of the errors that I see is here in my running head. Um, Also, I see errors here on the cover page, which is simple errors. What else? This is the correct format for date, so don't put 6th, 2nd, 3rd. No, it's just August 6th, 2017. Okay. Also, there's a video that I also published on the course. You go to the update part of the course, you can see there's a video doing the running heads, just running heads, because on the second page on, you can see that the word running head is not there anymore. All right, so this document is very useful. It's also in the document and the update part of the course. It's a PDF file. Use this. It has lots of explanations how to do things. Well, not to how to do it, but how they should look. And another issue that I've seen is when using tables or figures. All right, they need to be referenced. Let me see. There's a figure here somewhere. There we go. Figure. See, figures don't have titles, so they just have the figure one and the reference information where you got it from, or what tool did you use to create it. Tables have a title, as you can see, title, and this is double space, and this is not double space. So just pay attention to these little details. This is going to affect your APA scores. All right. Another thing that I've been referencing a lot is the CSU Global Guide to Writing an APA. So this is what I call the CSU Writing Guide. This is the way it works. All right. You have the table of contents over here, figures and tables. Bam, page 15. This is what I've been always referencing. Page 15. Here explains how everything should look like. All right. Okay, and reusing your own work. Here's another one that is commonly asked. That should be reference list. Reusing your own work. Here's the university policy and reusing your own work. Um, they they recommend not to have a 20% similarity score. Uh, I don't know. I can I could live with 30%, um, but don't abuse it. Now anything above 30%, I'm gonna turn around. All right, so keep that in mind. Okay. Okay, so if you have any questions on or any suggestions to the course, what can I do to improve your performance? Because it is my fault if you don't perform well. And so let me know. What can I do? All right. So we're just gonna go over some of the concepts of the course that we discussed from throughout the week 1 through week 5. And week 1 we went over the needs of the organization. How do we align our IT strategy to the organization strategy? We evaluate what the organization wants to do. We can search for hints and on this what the organization wants to do by just looking at the vision and the mission of the organization. Then we can have meetings with top management, and they could give us more feedback on what are their expectations. Remember that the IT management department or the MIS department is a support department. We do not establish the policy or the strategy for the business. We develop the IT strategy, right? And the IT strategy is designed to complement the business strategy, which is the one that generates the revenue. During week 2, we went over the IT more of the principles, and we were analyzing the resistance, because every great idea is going to meet with some type of resistance. It could be from management, it could be from users, it could be from the competition. We just got to identify what kind of resistance are we meeting and what we're gonna do about it. Um, it's gonna depend on where it's coming from and how we're gonna react. For example, if your users are resisting the implementation of a new IT system, it's probably because they don't know it, and everybody's afraid of the unknown. So keep that in mind. Um, I remember back in 1995, I was part of the in the United States Navy. We shifted from dumb terminals to PCs, and after people been using dumb terminals for a while, uh, let's say 10 years, and you all of a sudden change the equipment, even though it looks similar and you have more capabilities, that it might not be well received among the end user. So keep that in mind. And week three, we went over what everything in life has is full of is risk. Uh, we also learn about how to identify risk, how to manage risk, and how to react to risk. Um, Most of you did not know that we have positive risk, and because many textbooks define risk as unforeseen events that can affect your operation, your business, or your objectives. So any unforeseen event doesn't imply that it has to be negative. But when we see the word risk, immediately we tend to think about negative things. But the positive risk can be something that we did not plan for. For instance, this week in New York, if it's snowing right now. So if it is snowing, um, that's something you cannot plan. But if it's bright and shiny, you cannot even you can't plan for that either. So a good example for a positive risk is having good weather. And how do you react to that good weather? It depends how we're gonna manage that risk. For example, if you have extremely good weather or unexpected good weather, what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna maximize it? Are you gonna accept it and do nothing, or you can share it as well? All right. Uh, for example, if you have extremely good weather and you have a lot of work that has to be done outside and open doors, so you could probably go, let's go into overtime today so we could maximize the use of this good weather. So that's a good example. Okay, and after we did on week three, we went over the risk and all the ins and outs of risk. Then we started in week four, we started discussing project management and how projects are divided in five different process groups. And we discussed also the most common methodology for project management is the PMBOK, the PMI. There's the Project Management Institute. Um, we also discussed why projects are done, and that's a very useful question because, like I mentioned before, IT, we do not buy things because we want to buy things or just because they're nice or because they're shiny or because they look nice on the desk. That's not a good reason. Every project needs to be justified. And there's different ways we can justify a project. This course went over two, but there's many other tools that we can use for this purpose. We discussed return on investment. So what are we getting out of this project? And the balance scorecard, what it tells you is how is this project going to complement our business strategy? Okay, what are the benefits? So one looks at the money and the other one looks at benefits. And we also discussed the difference between public and private sector projects. And even though you have the same exact project, but if it's done in a private sector versus a public sector, things can change very significantly. I've done projects in public and private sector, same thing, but the requirements are different. For example, the process of scheduling the request for proposals, accepting the proposals, analyzing the proposals. There's a whole process, and there's a lot of people that have an opinion but don't have the knowledge. That's my humble opinion on this process. Week 5, we went over to analyzing the the technology needs and to maintain the business running. Um, we also discussed how to main because it's not a matter of just having the system up and running. Is maintenance involved, and that this is the hidden cost that not many people quantify or account for. Uh, there's updates for that you need to do to the software. There's compatibility issues between softwares and between hardware. I don't know if a few of you remember back in the old days when Cisco had lots of competition. Cisco had the bad habit of not connecting to any other hardware that wasn't a Cisco switch or Cisco hub. Now, said hub, yeah, that's a long time ago. Uh, all right, so let's look at the final portfolio. What are my expectations of the final portfolio? All right, what I expect is for you. Let's look at. Um, let's look at this. All right. So here you have the week 8 portfolio project. This you see these titles. Use these titles. Okay. Use these titles. There's something that I like. It is to be organized, and your table content should use these titles. All right. So this is what you should look like. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna select this, copy it, and we're gonna go to Word. Okay. Those are your titles. All right. All right. So let's first look at assessing information systems. What are we gonna do? What I need to see here is your ideas of assessing an information system. All right. Now, some of you might have some issues with referencing. What a good paragraph should look like. A good paragraph to me and to the academia and to English, the first sentence is always going to be your introduction sentence. What is the paragraph about? All right, so your citations should be in the middle, from the second between the second and fifth sentence. That's where you put your citations. And then the last sentence it just concludes or closes that paragraph and fits as a transition to your next topic or to your next idea. That's what I expect. I've been seeing some papers that the ideas are not flowing from one paragraph to another, from one topic to another. So please take care of that. Then we're gonna go into what the assessing data and knowledge, risk management, and you're gonna do an analysis of the ROI and the balance scorecard, and then you should have a conclusion for this one and say, well, we're gonna use this or this. Tell me why. There's no wrong reason for that one. Uh, you're gonna evaluate the purchase of the lease equipment. That's up to, and then assess the Dirtbags USA critical system and development of disaster recovery plan. All right. So what I expect here is to see a plan. All right. So that's why it ends with a plan. What are you gonna do to develop that disaster recovery plan? Conclusion is the most important thing to any paper, and this is the one I have trouble with. Uh, sometimes what I see in a conclusion is a summary of the paper, and a summary and a conclusion is not the same thing. I do not expect to see any citations in a conclusion, because a conclusion, it's you concluded what you just discussed here. So all your on these topics you would cite on these topics, and you ideas, you make a contrast, and that would, when you make a contrast between your idea and your support with you support your idea with a reference, that's critical thinking. So some of you might find that I'm taking points away for critical thinking. That's why is I don't see the argument between your ideas and supporting your ideas with valid data. Also, conclusion should be between five lines, five sentences, and in some cases, and this one that is a long paper should have at least 2 paragraphs. All right. Now, if you choose to go with a presentation, presentations are not as easy as people think. Presentations have comments, and it's I have a presentation template that I uploaded as well to the course updates. So check this out. It's the same thing, but each slide I prefer you to incorporate a audio file of you talking on each slide. That's for your final. All right. So you have the dirt bikes organization chart and your financial data here for you to analyze. So everything is on your assignments, all your assignments. So if remember, go scroll all the way down so you can reach these files for your assignment. All right. These are the same questions. Yeah, same questions, just the format is different. So I expect to, and each slide, remember that each slide for your final portfolio, each slide should have an audio file. And there's a video on how to do that on your updates. You go here to your updates, you can see it. All right. All right. So if you have any other questions about the course or expectations or my expectations for the portfolio project, feel free to just text me and or call me, email me, smoke signals, or anything you want to do. I prefer the text because it's immediate. It catches my immediate attention. So do that. So if you have any clarification. All right. So it's been great. Thank you for being in my class and staying on top of your game, and keep up the good work. Take care.